Hey guys, Pitmaster here. 5 very important lessons I've learned from martial artists from UFC 189. Not only was this a great card with so much action, I mean, it was fucking crazy. Um, so I was entertained a lot, but I took away 5 very important lessons that you could see from this card that I think are going to help you. They're definitely going to help me become a better martial artist. Okay, number 1, Lawler versus McDonald. Wow, what a war! To me, what it showed was the effectiveness of direction, and especially somebody that has a different orientation from you. In other words, he's moving towards Lawler's right. Lawler was landing that straight right, which landed quite often. But which is landing even harder is when McDonald was moving towards Lawler's left, which was his power hand. Lawler's straight left was just unbelievable, and we actually also saw that in the main event with Chad versus Connor. That straight long left, because he's a southpaw, so his left is back, was everything. That's what stopped the fight. And well, there's other things leading up to it, but so that's my point. There are other techniques on fighting a southpaw versus a southpaw fighting orthodox, but to me, that's a very important lesson. You use your power hand against somebody that has an opposite orientation than you. So in other words, when you're fighting a southpaw, your right is going to work a lot. Okay, a lot more than with a regular fighter, because your right hand is hitting over here. But when you're fighting a southpaw, they're this way, so your right goes right down the middle, and it's not defended as well. And the same holds true for when a southpaw fighter is fighting a regular fighter. Their straight left is not blocked as well as if they were fighting another southpaw or somebody of their own orientation. Okay, so that's my first lesson. Use that power backhand against somebody of the opposite orientation. Okay, that sounds weird. Different orientation. I don't even know if that's the right terminology. But if you're a regular fight or you're orthodox fighting a southpaw, throw a lot of right hands. That's what I'm saying. And if you're a southpaw fighting somebody that's orthodox, throw a lot of left hands. It's really simple. I mean, it's simple, but it's very difficult. But anyway, that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 against the Swick fight, when he fought the guy from Dominican, Alex Garcia, who happened to be a better wrestler, or at least a more practiced wrestler. Don't neglect any part of the game. If you're an MMA fighter or a martial artist, which you're an MMA fighter, just maybe on the street, hopefully not, but if you have to fight on the street, it's the same. This principle applies just as much. In other words, if you're training and you're a martial artist and you're not a combat sport fighter, but you're fighting because you might get jumped in the street, but you're neglecting something like your conditioning. Then all of a sudden you get jumped in the street, and 30 seconds in, you're sucking for wind. You don't even have enough energy to hold your hands up. You're going to get the shit beat out of you. And the stakes are a lot higher in a street fight than they are in a UFC match, because it's life or death or making a lot of money. You choose. But anyway, I feel Mike Swick, who's been training mostly in Thailand, was neglecting his wrestling. So there's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking, and conditioning. I think out of those 4, he was neglecting his wrestling because he couldn't get as much good wrestling practice in Thailand. So Alex Garcia capitalized on that and beat him by wrestling. So my point is, you're a martial artist. You need to concentrate always and give equal time and energy into the 4: conditioning, wrestling, submissions, and striking. Okay, he neglected the wrestling, and Garcia capitalized on that. So don't neglect. Put all 4 into your training regimen and practice them often. Okay. All right. Number 3, Pickett. Pickett fought. Who did Pickett fight? He fought a really good Brazilian guy, Thomas Alameda. Okay. You put your chin down and your shoulders up, but you don't ever put your head down. Okay, putting your head down isn't good for knees and uppercuts and takedowns and control. It's not good. You're never going to do well with your head down in a fight. You always want your chin down and your shoulders up, but you never want your head down. I think he was making a mistake I think he was coming in wrong, trying to throw something, but he had his head down, and Alameda came up with the knee. So never put your head down. Always keep your chin down, but never put your head down. Okay? So that's lesson number 3. Okay, lesson number 4. We've gone through this over and over and over again, but it was with Jeremy Stevens and Dennis Bermudez killer fight. It would have been fight of the night if McDonald and Lawler didn't happen. And I guess Stevens didn't make weight either. But anyway, leg check. Those leg checks were killing Bermudez. Practice your leg checks. Drill them often. In the street or in the cage or in the ring. Always practice your leg checks. Do not neglect them. They're so important. You need to build them into your arsenal and your muscle memory, because when that leg kick comes, you should automatically be checking. You shouldn't be consciously thinking all the time, because during a fight, there's too many things happening. That leg should come up and it should go out and up automatically. Leg check. Drill leg checks. Even in class, it's like when you're a kid playing catch with your father, back and forth. All you do is throw the ball back and forth. Pro baseball players do it still to this day, even though they're making millions of dollars. They've been doing it since they were 5 years old. They just throw the ball. They play catch. That's what you need to do with some of your drills. Play catch with the leg check. Practice your leg checks often. Don't get beat because of a fucking leg kick. It's terrible. So practice your leg checks. That's lesson number 4. Lesson number 5 is more of I don't even know if it's a lesson. This happened in the Robbie Lawler fight, definitely, and the Chad Mendes Conor McGregor fight. I don't know. It's Bushido. Always have that Bushido. The people that have it are much more successful in their martial arts, in their MMA, in whatever they do. They are more successful. Don't you notice that? People with Bushido, people that are grateful, people that respect, people that know where they came from. Like Conor McGregor, right after his fight, I did this, I did that. No, you didn't hear that from him. You heard him say, I am here because of my team. I am here because of my family. I am here because of my country. I owe it to them. And that's the way fighters are. That's the way true fighters are. Right after Lawler and McDonald beat the shit out of each other, they hugged. They had respect. In the hospital, they were visiting each other. Total respect. Mendes and McGregor after the fight, total respect. Those are the people that are going to make it. The douchebags that aren't like that, they're not going to make it. And even if they do show some measure of success in MMA, they're not going to make it in life. Because people don't like that. It's people can feel that. You don't want to be like that. It's not good. You want to have Bushido. You want to have the way of the warrior. You want to have respect. You want to have gratitude. You want to have humbleness. And as much as McGregor talks, he's very humble. He's a showman. and he has confidence. But he's a showman selling a fight. The true Conor McGregor came out the second that fight was over. That's the true Conor McGregor. The true Chad Menendez came out after the fight. The true Robbie Lawler and Rory McDonald came out after the fight. Okay, that's their true inner self. And you saw it. You can't lie about that after the fight. Because there's too many emotions. You can't hide certain things. So Bushido is my I think it's my fourth. Is that my fifth or fourth? Whatever. I have 5. I have one more. It might make it 6, but whatever. Then you get an extra one. Never underestimate your opponent. I've done it. I did it. I've done it in fights. I've done it in the street. I've done it before. Big mistake. You never underestimate your opponent. Never underestimate yourself either. And always have confidence. But don't underestimate your opponent, because some of your toughest, most badass opponents are going to not look the part. I'm going to give you an example. Last night, Gunnar Nelson, he fought Brandon Thatch. I thought it was going to be grappling versus striking all the way. Everybody, not just me, but we all underestimated Gunnar Nelson's striking, even though he's shown striking in the past, because Brandon Thatch is such a superior, on paper anyway, striker. We underestimated Gunnar's striking, especially against Brandon. Everyone did it, not just me. We all thought it would be grappling against striking. Guess what? Gunnar dropped him with a left hook, straight right. He dropped him on his ass. I mean, dropped him. In a boxing, if he got back up on the 10 count, that would have been a 10-8 round. But he dropped him. Then he finished him. Do not ever underestimate anyone. If someone's going to jump you on the street, don't underestimate them. Keep your confidence and have a plan, but don't underestimate him. Don't think he's going to get tired. Don't think he can't hit hard. Don't think he can't take you down. Okay, don't underestimate those things. Just have confidence that you have trained to beat or to win or to come out ahead or to survive. Always know you have the confidence, but never underestimate your opponent. Train for the worst and hope for the best. Okay? Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for being part of this.